There's no doubting at all that these are very serious times. But there was a man, and he was bitten by a dog, but the bite wasn't very serious, so he didn't take much notice of it until he began to manifest some rather unusual symptoms. So he decided to go to the doctors. So he went to the doctors, and the doctor insisted that the dog be brought in. And of course, when the dog was brought in, it was discovered that the dog had rabies. So the doctor said to the man, "Well, I'm very sorry, you've left it too late. It's too late to give you any of the serum. Now, you're definitely going to die." So all of a sudden the man dashed over to the doctor's desk and took a piece of paper and started madly writing. And the doctor said, "Oh, there's no need to write your will so soon. It's not going to happen so soon. You're not going to die so quickly." And the man said, "Oh, I'm not writing my will. I'm just writing a list of all the people I'm going to bite." You know, in the great land of Afghanistan, as it's called today, it's been invaded many times by many, and it's been ruled by many different monarchs and kings and sultans and all of that. But there was a certain time that there was a certain king ruling the land of Afghanistan, but he had a very strange habit. For 3 days he would take care of all the affairs of state very carefully and assiduously, and then for 3 days he would disappear. No one knew where he went or what he was doing. Of course, there was a great deal of speculation about it. You know, some said that those who were more worldly said he was going off to participate in debauchery, and there were the pious amongst them said, oh, he was going off into retreat to meditate, and there were those who thought that he, for a few days, every few days he went mad. But, as is the way with these things, as had been in times past, that kingdom was invaded yet again. So the king and his grandees and his viziers had to head for the mountains. And, of course, while they were in the mountains, there was a great deal of privation. It was very hard. They were battling the enemy. They had to do with lack of water. There was very steep terrain. So the viziers and grandees, they had a very tough time of it. But it was noticed by all of them that the king himself seemed to take all of these things in his stride. He was not very peeved or perturbed by what was going on at all. In fact, he was able to keep everyone bolstered and their spirits up. Well, as these things go, finally the invaders were sent away, and the king went back to his palace and set up life as it was before. But of course, everyone was very interested. They said to the king, "Well, how is it that you were able to suffer all of those privations and difficulties that we had when everyone else was having problems?" And he said, "Well, it was very easy, because for those 3 days of my life, throughout all of my reign, I've been living as an ordinary man, suffering with the rich and the poor, experiencing what it's like to work hard, to have poverty, to have not enough to eat, to have not enough food to feed one's children. This is why I have been able to prevail when you have not." And there's another strange little old tale, just to put these together for the sake of machinating over them. There was a time when a very pious man had a visitation from an angel, and the angel foretold that all of the waters of the earth would be poisoned, so that all of mankind would go mad. But he could store pure water if he so willed. So this is what the pious man decided to do. He stored water in a cave up in the mountains, and he watched as all of mankind gradually became mad by drinking the waters of the world. But of course, for this man it became a very isolated and very lonely life, because everyone was mad. In a way, they knew they were mad and they enjoyed their madness, but because they knew the difference and could see that he was not mad, they scorned him, they rejected him, they ostracized him. So he had no friends, he had no relationship with life. So he had a very great and grave choice to make. Could he remain in his cave, drinking the pure water, remaining what was judged to be sane, or he could choose to drink the waters of life and become mad like everybody else? So the question that's very obvious from this, what are the implications of this story? What is the implication of this story relative to the king, who for 3 days took care of the affairs of state and then for 3 days disappeared to live like an ordinary man? And the waters of life becoming so impure that everyone goes mad, leaving one isolated and lonely. The implications of this story are very important for us as it leads into the next phase, the next link of what it is that we're going to be endeavoring to understand. But in the meantime, to ponder on these simple stories and the implications is an important piece of homework for us all. These are serious times. Thank you.